Oh, my goodness. We have so much basketball news to get to. In the WNBA, free agency, it began, and we got our first trade. Angel is headed to the A. We have all the details for you. And congratulations to the Bruins, because with the WNBA draft right around the corner, which champs are about to turn pro? A couple of them. And then over in the NBA, it's the final week of the regular season, but the biggest story is the health of the stars here. Steph Curry is back. The Lakers, they are trying to hang on without Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Don't worry, Shams is here with everything you need to know. NBA Today starts right now. Here is what we know, right? We already know that Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, they're going to miss the remainder of the regular season. Tough weekend for the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka, he is dealing with a hamstring strain. Austin Reeves is dealing with an oblique injury, and just 4 games left in the regular season, so the clock is ticking here for the Lakers. But the question is, what about the playoffs? I'm joined by Danny Green, Shams Charania. Shams, there are a lot of Lakers fans who are hanging on to your every word out there. At this point, what is the level of optimism that Luka could be back at some point in the playoffs?
Look, the expectation around the Lakers right now is both Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves will be sidelined indefinitely going into the playoffs. But we got a new wrinkle going into this week, and that's what I reported last night, and I can further report here today. I'm told Luka Doncic is currently in Spain. He traveled there because he's undergoing an injection procedure in that grade 2 hamstring area to see if he can promote healing and at the end of the day expedite his return process. He's doing everything he can to make it back out on the court. We know a grade 2 hamstring strain typically falls between 4 to 6 weeks. He's doing everything he can to see if he can push that timeline up just a little bit, and we're still not sure exactly how this treatment goes. Does it work? How much does it speed everything up? But that's what he's doing. He's in Spain. Austin Reeves is a little bit of a different card. 4 to 6 weeks, he's out. He's got a grade 2 oblique strain. Oof. And so that timeline essentially would sideline him a majority, if not the entire first-round series. The goal is for both of these players to be back. J.J. Redick has said it. We just have to extend our run in the playoffs to try to get both of them back. Danny, I understand you've dealt with both of these injuries.
I have. And the oblique in college, but not extensive as a grade 2, but I've dealt hamstring and calf. So grade 1 to me, again, I'm not a doctor, but I can give you what I know. Grade 1 is a smaller tear. Grade 2 is a little bigger, or a couple of small tears.
And that's what Luka's dealing with,
yes.
Grade 2.
And if you injure it once, which he's done before, it's going to take longer to heal. Usually 4 to 6, or 3 to 5 with the grade 1. Grade 2, 5 to 7, maybe 8, depending on. So I think Luka can get back. What I'm assuming he's getting overseas is some regenerative stem cells therapy, which I have done before in the past as well.
Is the only option he had to go to Spain to do this?
No, but, there's stories back when Kobe was younger, he would go to Switzerland.
Okay.
That's where, I guess,
also in Spain, I will add, he's close to a lot of the doctors there. He played at Real Madrid before, so some of the doctors being in Madrid, that helped as well.
Yeah, so that he's comfortable there is where he's home, but I think that's where the medicine kind of stemmed from when it came to that. So he can push this up about a week or so. It does help. I have done it before. It will help heal certain ailments, but realistically, at best, he can probably get back 4 to 5 weeks, which is the end, 6 or 7, if they can get that far.
Yeah.
So Lakers fans, this is a bad time. This is disappointing for both teams. Oblique, you can't even laugh or use the bathroom without it hurting. So it's a tough one for Austin. They can get back possibly if a LeBron James, which I think he can, even though he's 41 years old, keep them afloat. And with Marcus Smart, if he comes back, DeAndre Ayton, those guys, if they can extend this series, the first series, 2 or 6 or same game series, you can get Luka back. Austin, I don't know. But, yeah, this is a tough situation.
They have to try to stay in the 3 seed, right?
Yes.
Because if they can stay in the 3 seed and the Minnesota Timberwolves are the 6 seed, the Timberwolves are also a bit banged up, right? You have McDaniels, who's battling his own injuries. Anthony Edwards is battling a knee issue. If they can match up with the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round, potentially even as banged up as they are, we could see them be able to have some success. You're hearing our reactions, but how about LeBron James, right? He recounted his reaction when he first heard that Luka and Austin would be out into the playoffs. Here's how he summed it up.
Took my nap after practice, and I woke up with that news. It was like another shot to I was like, we knew it was a shot to the heart, obviously, and to the chest and to the mainframe with Luka, understanding that, AR, was kind of dealing with the pain. We seen OKC, whatever the case may be, and we knew he was going to get an MRI. But I woke up from my nap yesterday and then saw that news. I was like, that was literally my tone.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
Damn.
And that is the background with which LeBron James, without starters, took on Cooper Flagg and company in Dallas here. We're going to pick this one up, 19 years young versus the 41-year-old LeBron James. Mavs out in transition in the first quarter here. Flagg, this was certainly his game.
90 points, 2 games, 90 points?
Yeah, he would lead by 22. The Mavericks did at one point in the first half. Maxi Kleber with the steal, going the other way. LeBron.
Okay, Bron.
This is what he's going to have to do. The Lakers down 14. Final minute of the second. Lakers down 9 here. Rui Hachimura gets it out in transition. It's LeBron James that lays it up and in high off the glass. LeBron had 30 points, 9 rebounds, 15 assists for the game. The Lakers down 6 entering halftime. But then less than 4 minutes to go. Flagg with the crossover.
Ooh.
Flagg drives, gets the friendly roll, and Dallas would go on to get the win, 134-128. Again, this is one that the Los Angeles Lakers needed to win. But here's a change. With no Luka, no Austin Reeves, LeBron, he's going to have the ball in his hands a whole lot more. He recorded 117 touches yesterday, his most in a game since 2021, and significantly higher than his season average this year of 70 touches a game. Is there anything that you can take from this game, Danny, about how the Lakers are going to need to play without so many of their starters?
Yeah, I mean, Luka Kennard looked good.
A lot of touches.
He's got a lot of touches for him. But this is not foreign for LeBron James to have 117 touches. He's done this before in his career. It's been a while, but he's able to do that. Now, the other guys, they need Marcus Smart back dearly. I don't know how soon or when his timetable is. They need him. Luka Kennard is trying to fill that role. Jake LaRavia has to step up. DeAndre Ayton, Jackson Hayes. It's going to take the whole group effort. But LeBron James, again, is a player that is special enough to keep a group afloat. He can empower these guys, encourage these guys to play kind of above themselves, to try to win 1 or 2 of these last games in the regular season. And then when you get to the playoffs, get 2 or 3 games before you can get Luka back or Austin back. So, as you've seen, his reaction after his nap was, for me, damn, like, this is a lot for him.
Right.
But he is capable of handling it.
Do we know anything about when we could see Marcus Smart back for the Lakers yet, Shams?
It's really been a day-to-day injury, but these players that are continuing to get more and more into the 30s, like, you're dealing with next-level soreness, and I think that's what Marcus Smart is working for. We'll have, hopefully, an update here in the next few days on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lakers fans, we see you, we hear you, we know that it has been a tough weekend. But in the state of California, it hasn't been all doom and gloom. Sunshine was out, at least in the Bay, with Steph Curry back on the floor in Chase Center.
Okay.
This is the first time that he has played here since January, and really, he didn't miss a beat. It's the first time, though, he came off the bench since March of 2012. So the final seconds of the first quarter here, DeAnthony Melton knows to find his guy, Steph Curry. This is what he does, DG.
That's all it takes one for a shooter.
Blows back. Jayshawn Tate there, blows past him.
A little wheeling and dealing, dicing him up.
And the smile. The third quarter, Aaron Holiday swings it to Kevin Durant. He knows these nets. He's getting his.
He's comfortable at home.
And then Curry blowing past his former
come here, KD.
Here. It's the burst. Gets it over Alperen Şengün.
Show him the shoulders.
Taking that one off
Show him the shoulders.
The fourth quarter, though, 2 minutes to go. The Rockets, they built a big lead, they gave it up, so we are in clutch time. Usually that's not their strong suit, but here we go. Durant keeping the Rockets in the driver's seat here. And then a few plays later, Draymond Green finds Steph Curry. Just a little miscommunication there on defense, and he lays it up and in. He took a little contact on that one, but there wasn't a call. And then Durant finds Şengün. They did call this on Draymond, and he had a couple of things to say about that. Nice play call there from Ime Udoka, though. And then Curry.
Little give and go, get it back.
On fire and letting the home crowd know. 16 seconds left here. Houston trails by 1. Durant gets it back to Şengün, who lays it up and in. So the Warriors, they got one more chance here. This is when you want to have the ball in his hands. I think this is why they didn't call a timeout, because he wanted to get it to Steph. No good. The Rockets spoil Curry's return with a 1-point win here, and this is so important for Houston in the standings. But with the loss here, the Warriors basically, they can finish no higher than 9th in the West. And to do that, they're going to have to win out, and they also need the Clippers or the Trailblazers to lose out. Otherwise, they're looking at needing 2 road wins just to get out of the play-in and into the 8th seed. But Danny, I was impressed. The movement here of Steph Curry after missing so much time away, what stood out to you?
I mean, that second quarter, again, when you come back from injury, it takes time to slow the game down. And it usually doesn't happen in the first game that you come back. For him, it looked like he had been doing some scrimmaging. Like, he looked like he was healthy. He got it back and slowed the game down. You see here in this transition, he's coming down. Him stopping on a dime and pulling up shows me that those legs are pretty sprightly. You know, like, he's able to do that. again, he gets a switch here on a big, not even a big, kind of a mini big, but he's able to slice and dice, stop on a dime, change directions, get to the paint, get to the floaters, layups and finishes. That's when I'm like, all right, he's looking good. Right here, this is when I'm like, oh, he's back. He got KD in a switch somehow. He gets the switch screen right here with Gary Payton. The second, gets some little Dyson hesitation, gets to the paint, got KD, lost a little bit, floater, contact, N1, give him a little shoulder shimmy. He's in rhythm right now. So to see that happen that quickly is like, he's obviously 37, 38 now, unbelievable, but it showed me that he had been taking his rehab very seriously and that he had been getting some scrimmage. And I don't know where and how and what group he's been playing with, but he's doing it at a very good level right now.
Danny, he got 2 scrimmages in last week. And I'll be honest, covering this story since he got hurt on January 30th, the amount of starts and stops, missed targets,
setbacks,
missed scrimmages, because every time Steph Curry would try to get going, he would feel swelling or he'd feel irritation. He would feel his knee. There's nothing structurally wrong, but it's what's been described to me is this is a 38-year-old's knee. He's dealing with elderly player's knee issue. And the amount of times I think Stephen Curry was told, hey, it's probably best for you to shut it down. The team's doctors involved that might have been like, hey, listen, we support if you want to call it quits this season. So him getting back on the court, I just think everyone in that locker room, that organization, they've given him all the credit. Like, it's all him. It's all his determination to get back out there on the court. And he said it the other day or last night, this is a new normal for him. I think he knows he's going to have to deal with some of these knee issues, possibly for the rest of his career, however long he plays. But even sitting him there, seeing him sit on the bench there, he had this big pad on his knee. That's not something we've seen from Steph Curry, and we'll see how long that has to last.
And certainly, maybe that is the motivation to try to get up to that 19 so they at least have one game at home, because really that's what this tells you, that this is their franchise cornerstone, of course. This is one of the all-time greats, of course. And any way that he can be back playing in front of those fans, that really is what we know Steph Curry to be and what he's proven to be once again in this injury. Again, all of these seeds still up on the line here as we go down the final days of the regular season. But we did have some breaking news just moments ago here, Shams. We have some major changes here in Chicago. What more can you tell us after the Bulls have dismissed their entire front office, it seems here, the highest ranking front office members, but not Billy Donovan for now?
Yeah, the Bulls have completely cleaned out their front office staff as far as their high-ranking officials. Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley both fired today in a meeting with Michael Reinsdorf, the CEO and president. He has made a decision as an organization they have to move on from this regime. Since this regime has taken over in 2020, they've made the playoffs just once, 4 straight non-postseason campaigns this year. I mean, this is a team that, one year in 2021-22, they were the #1 seed at one point in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, with
Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, then completely ravaged with injuries, starting with Lonzo Ball. They have completely shifted their direction. Billy Donovan, though, is still there as head coach. My understanding is the Bulls want to keep him as long as he wants to be there in Chicago. Their #1 priority after the season ends. Michael Reinsdorf, Jerry Reinsdorf will meet with Billy Donovan. They'll discuss the future and trying to keep Billy Donovan in Chicago.
Very interesting. So even though there is a complete overhaul that's happening right now in the front office, Billy Donovan, you're saying that they want him to be the coach for the future of the Chicago team. And gentlemen, that's not the only news we got out of Chicago today. Still to come on NBA Today, a franchise-shifting deal went down in the W. One of the game's biggest personalities, players, is on the move. We have details on Angel Reese headed to the A after this. Plus, one of the best battles of the season, right, Danny? We got Jokic versus Wemby this weekend. Must-see dagger, and what it means for the playoffs, because this could be a second-round matchup if things shakes out. And is it Cooper Flagg or is it Con Knipple, guys, for Rookie of the Year? Teammates turned rivals after this weekend. The odds have shifted again in a big way. We'll tell you next on NBA Today. But in Denver, we got a clash of the Titans. Wemby versus Jokic.
TV.
This game was out of this world. Early in the first quarter is where we're going to pick this one up. Jokic going right at Wemby.
And his chest.
And then hits him with a nice little layup.
Gotta, take away that space, because if he doesn't...
Stephon Castle has been playing some great basketball.
Area 51.
Yeah, finds Wemby. He had 15 points, 11 boards in the first half.
Look out below.
So to the fourth quarter we go. A minute left to play as we're going to pick this one up in the fourth. The Spurs up 2. Jokic puts it up and in. Nope. That's because Wemby's there.
Got long arms.
pushing it back out. And then watch Devin Vassell.
At the break. Okay, Dev.
Goes up for the dunk. So the Spurs up 4 here. Now 8 seconds remaining. Nuggets down 2. Jokic.
Great play.
He's double teamed. Walk us through it here.
Aaron Gordon sets the screen. Both guys go to Jokic, leaves Aaron Gordon wide open for an easy two-hand dunk.
And so with that, the game's all tied at 124. One final chance here for the San Antonio Spurs.
Good defense.
Want to get
defense.
it.
I thought this was going in.
Real physical.
Couldn't quite get it to go. And so who doesn't want some more
Extra innings.
free basketball? Just over a minute to play in overtime. The Nuggets up 2. Jokic backing down Wemby.
Patented fade.
Uses that little fake. And then the fadeaway jumper.
It's unbelievable how
what a
he
matchup of big
when he shoots the shot, it looks like it's an accident.
Shot. And yet he still gets it to go. He does the impossible. Wemby gets it in the mid post, gets the bucket to go. He had 34 points, 18 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks. But the problem is Jokic is on the other side. The Nuggets get the win here, 136-134. Let's listen to the 2 big men talking about this matchup.
I think first time I play against him, I told you guys that he's going to change the league and he's just going to change the basketball. And I still think that. And I think he has opportunity and chance to be the most unique basketball player ever played the game.
Very fun. One of the most fun games. I wish we could have closed it up. And my conclusion of this game is, no matter it's good for us. Anything that happened tonight's good for us. It's a real test against the team that's actually playing for something right now. It had a little bit of playoff vibes.
It did have a little bit of playoff vibes.
It definitely did.
And it could be a second-round matchup that we see if Denver's able to get up to the 3 seed and San Antonio stays the 2 seed. But these are video game numbers.
Unbelievable.
Right? Wemby went for 34, 18, 7, and 5 blocks. Wasn't enough, though, because Jokic called. He said he had 40 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists, and 3 blocks.
3 blocks for Jokic.
Yeah, to
Impressive.
get the win in overtime. He was getting up here. Tim McMahon, you have covered both of these teams extensively. We say howdy to you. What was your biggest takeaway from watching these 2 Titans go at it?
Howdy, Malika. When the game ended, I dropped down to my knees and I prayed to the basketball gods. I said, please, please, please give us 7 games of that during the playoffs. Well,
metaphorically.
I'm building it up here.
I could see Tim doing that.
I will do it, though. If it helps, I'm willing.
Okay.
I want to see 7 games of that in the playoffs. You know, you heard Joker say Wemby has a chance to be the most unique basketball player we've ever seen. Joker's on that short list. We are talking about 2 absolutely dominant big men who do it in completely different ways, going right at each other. Both of them came to play. The one thing they really do have in common is they are wired to compete in very similar fashion. I want to see these guys. I can't wait until Friday when they meet again. I hope there's something at stake in that game. And I really, really hope we get to see these guys go at it in the playoffs.
I hope we do too. And Danny, we've been talking about wanting to see Victor Wembanyama when the minutes get stretched with a playoff type atmosphere. What's it going to look like? He didn't quite touch 40 minutes in this game, but he got pretty close.
I think he'll be fine, especially in the playoffs. For me, it was a great test for both teams. Both teams needed this type of environment, this type of game, especially the Spurs. 11-game winning streak. I'm sure they were kind of feeling like they were like invincible. They needed to come back down to earth a little bit. And, Denver's, they're trying to get a 3rd seed. They need to play a playoff-type team. So this battle, again, they get a chance to see each other again at the end of the season. I don't know if they'll both play full teams or rosters, but I would love to see it. But, yeah, so seeing down the stretch with the Spurs, they showed some youth. There was some miscommunication in some plays. But I think they'll fix him. I got De'Aaron Fox. He is Mr. Clutch. We've known him to do better down the stretch. He'll have a better game. Stephon Castle could be Kellen Johnson. There's a couple guys. X Factors. You got the dog back there, too. Good to hear. But, yes, this was a game that we would love to see again. Tim, in the playoff 7 games, I would love to see. If I'm the Spurs, I wouldn't say super worried. But, yes, this would be...
But it's one that you just have, like, one eye on. And this becomes more realistic again if San Antonio is, in fact, the 2 seed, and if somehow Denver, who's won 8 straight, can climb their way back into the 3 seed, which right now the Los Angeles Lakers own Shams. Are people around the league at all looking at that as something that's realistic, or even maybe, I don't know, hunting out the Lakers as a matchup now? That wasn't the case a couple of weeks ago.
The injury opened up Pandora's box, which is teams like Minnesota or Denver or Houston looking at the Lakers as someone that's wounded and someone that could be had in a first-round series, even more so than just several days ago before these 2 guys got hurt. But think about that second-round matchup that we could see as far as Denver against San Antonio. That's going to be a vaunted battle. You don't want to face Oklahoma City in the second round. That's why you want to get to that number 3, number 2 seed. But San Antonio is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Denver's going to be tough as well. That's going to be a hell of a second round.
Houston Rockets, Minnesota Timberwolves, thank the basketball gods for the Lakers having these guys go out. Because if you can get a chance to move up, also play them in the first round, you are having more, like you have a really good chance extending your season and going to a second round because they're missing their 2 best players. We don't know when they're going to come back. I'm hopeful for them. I'm hopeful.
Teams are looking at the Lakers right now, and they're going like this.
Licking their chops and thanking the basketball guys that they don't have it for, because with those...
The story that has gone on all season long. Of course, Giannis missed his 11th straight game on Sunday, and now the NBA says they're investigating the Milwaukee Bucks for their handling of the player participation policy and inconsistent statements regarding the health of the 2-time MVP. So on Friday, before the Bucks game against the Boston Celtics, Giannis, he's been speaking with reporters, and he said this, quote, "I'm available to play, but I'm not in the game. I am available to play today, right now." He says, "I am available." So, Shams, where does the league stand with this investigation? What are they taking into account?
Malika, let's take a step back here. We have a star player in the NBA, a top 3 to 5 player in the NBA, who has sparked an NBA investigation into his own franchise. That's where this Bucks-Giannis situation is at. So where's it been at the last 3 weeks since Giannis got hurt on March 15th? He wants to play. The Bucks want him to shut down. And so you have 2 sides with differing interests. They're not aligned on the same page. And so now this level of disagreement, dysfunction, whatever word you want to call it, it's at the desk of the NBA's league office. And so their league office has had 2 different sides of the story. The Bucks are telling the NBA, hey, we told Giannis he can do 3-on-3 for return to play protocol. Giannis, from my understanding, is telling the Bucks, I'm available, I'm healthy. The Bucks never asked me to play 3-on-3. I had one person involved in this investigation tell me this is a classic he said, she said scenario. And so where this is at right now is Giannis is trying to ramp up this week, from my understanding. You look at Friday's home finale, potentially. Could he play in that game? He does want to play with his brothers, Alex and Thanasis.
Both suited up against Memphis yesterday.
He wants to play with his brothers before the regular season ends. He's making it very clear behind the scenes that's his goal. This is a fluid situation. This is an open investigation.
I don't even know if it's that behind the scenes, Shams, because he's speaking to Eric Name, who covers the Milwaukee Bucks as well as anybody. He's speaking to reporters about what he thinks and feels. And I guess I can't help but wonder if this is, I sound like Carrie Bradshaw, I can't help but wonder. I guess I can't, but I wonder if this is some sort of swan song, wanting to play one more time in front of the Milwaukee Bucks crowd.
Maybe. For me, it doesn't make sense. It seems like finding reasons to break up the relationship, or like to dump your partner, whatever it may be, however you want to put it.
You're saying just do it, rip off the Band-Aid?
Yeah, I don't get it. Again, his argument, he does have an argument now, because you see Steph Curry with Golden State now. But even me, from my side of the perspective on that, I'm like, Steph is great. I'd love to see him compete. Same with Giannis. But I just don't see it doing him any favors right now.
Well, the Bucks standpoint, right, if they do want to trade Giannis, they also want to protect their asset, if that is something that ends up coming down the pipe.
The Bucks' perspective throughout all this has been, it's in your best interest, Giannis, and our best interest for us to just shut you down.
Because these 2 things go against one another. If we want to win, we need to have a higher draft pick.
But this was the whole point at the deadline, where we knew this was going to come potentially differing interest. So we'll have
now once again this comes to a head. So the Lakers, they lost to the Mavericks over the weekend, but LeBron James, he became the oldest player ever to put up a 30-point, 15-assist game. He was 41 years, 96 days old, and the previous oldest was himself. But it was more than 6 years ago, 34 years, 306 days old. Who counts their age in days? But they're going to need a lot more of that, right? With no Luka Doncic, no Austin Reeves, both dealing with injuries, and their status for the playoffs is in doubt here. So the Lakers, they are the 3 seed right now. But they're tied with the 4th-seeded Nuggets, but they hold the tiebreaker. They're just a game up on Houston, and they really need to hang on to that 3 seed here for their playoff path to give those guys a chance to come back. Dave McMenamin, you were in Dallas last night for this game. Can you just tell us what the mood is around the team? We heard LeBron and the expletive that he shared when he found out about all of these injuries that now they're needing to navigate.
Yeah, Malika, I saw Austin Reeves coming into the arena before the game yesterday, and I kind of went up to him. I'm sorry to hear the news. He said, "What can you do? Bleep happens." And it was kind of the similar laissez-faire type of attitude he brings to every day. He had a backwards hat on the bench. He was arguing with the refs. He was, cheering on his teammates. He's going to be present throughout this process, both mentally and physically. Obviously, we know Luka, as Shams Charania has reported, is overseas in Spain. But Austin's going to be a part of the team process. He goes through this oblique. Now, the rest of the coaching staff needs to take all the emotions out of this and look at the ingredients that they have in the fridge and make a meal they'd never made before. And then you saw a starting lineup that never played with one another to start the game. The lineup that started the second quarter had never played with one another. Also, they're trying to find combinations that work. They're hoping that this infusion of newness can make this stretch of the season be something that engages this group versus just thinking about what they used to have.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough because these are seasoned veterans that know the realistic outlook of what this team is now facing. Dave, thank you very much for that insight. It only gets tougher with the Lakers now facing OKC up next. Win off with they're getting a little dance routine.
Little ticky
Get in there, Danny. Get in there.
Not from you.
But don't let those moves fool you. She's got them on the floor too, right? Betts became the 7th player in the last 40 years to win Conference Player of the Year and her program's first NCAA national title, with 6 of the 7 winning the most outstanding player. Betts is actually the first to do this since Asia Wilson in 2017. And the women who are holding it down for us on ESPN all weekend, Christine Williamson, Andrea Carter, Shanae Ogwumike, their reaction to UCLA's blowout win over South Carolina.
Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona. Shanae Ogwumike, Andrea Carter, and Christine Williamson here. 79-51, the win. UCLA getting their first ever national championship in the NCAA era. And the seniors really contributed for that team. They scored every single one of their 79 points. Understatement. All 6 seniors. And they're looking ahead, obviously, to April 13th. But when you see what they were able to do today, Shanae, what stands out?
Just women meeting the moment, especially a senior class that is transformational. I mean, we've never seen them score so many points in this stage of the NCAA tournament, and I immediately go to Lauren Betts because Lauren Betts is just a remarkable person, and then you start seeing her play, and then she's a straight up beast. I said it earlier, it's like you talk to her and she's a teddy bear, but when you go out there and see her play, she's a grizzly bear, and she's the model of consistency for the Bruins. She honestly has played so well at both ends of the floor. She is the Big Ten Player of the Year, she's the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and every time that she's needed, she's at the right place at the right time, and so I'm impressed by how she has led the Bruins to this moment where they get a title.
I'm also impressed with how Lauren Betts has grown. I mean, all last season, we talked a lot about her mobility or how she needed to add mobility to her game, and give Corey Close and Lauren Betts a lot of credit for putting in the work and putting in the time to be the player that we just saw win a national championship and affect both sides of the basketball. On the offensive end, she's everywhere. She's posting up. She's relentless in her effort on offense, relentless in her effort to protect the paint on the defensive end. So hats off to Lauren Betts. But when I think about this game and this team in terms of the WNBA draft, I think everyone, all of the seniors showed one thing that's really important when it comes to being at the next level, that you can be a part of a collective effort, right? None of these seniors tried to step outside of themselves. They all understood what their strengths were, and they used that to their advantage in this game, and it made them such a strong team.
You said relentless in their effort. We have to shout out Gabriela Jaquez, because she had the huge assignment, because they start 4 guards and 1 post, and that 1 post is 6'7" Lauren Betts. And Corey Close said, I need you to do one thing, rebound. She went out there and had a double-double. She's playing her best version of basketball right now, but you could just tell the one word for them is selfless. They had 23 assists on 30 made field goals. It's wild to see how this team was so confident, even though they did not have the experience. They showed poise, and I think everyone at the next level is going to welcome anyone that's wearing currently a Bruin jersey.
21 points, 10 rebounds for Jaquez. She had a huge game. By the way, she's looking ahead to next Monday, the 30th annual WNBA draft on ESPN and the ESPN app.
Ladies, thank you, and fantastic job throughout the tournament. Hey, the 30th annual WNBA draft, it's next Monday already on ESPN and the ESPN app. Of course, the Dallas Wings are on the clock with the first pick, followed by the Lynx, the Storm, the Mystics, and then the Sky. And, of course, the expansion franchises, the Toronto Tempo, Portland Fire, they have the 6th and 7th picks. Our coverage, it begins with WNBA Countdown at 6:30 Eastern. We will be in New York City. Well, the WNBA announced free agency yesterday, and then this morning, we got the first domino, the first major trade. The Chicago Sky, they've traded 2-time All-Star Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream. Taylor Brooks first reported this information, and Kendra Andrews broke the details. So Reese is on the move in exchange for a 2027 first-round pick, a 2028 first-round pick, and now the woman who broke the news is here with us. Kendra Andrews, thank you so much for stopping by. So we know Angel Reese is headed to a team that was second in offense and second in defense last season. So from a basketball standpoint, this makes a whole lot of sense for Angel Reese. But for Chicago, trading a fan favorite that's so early on in her career, can you take us inside this thinking?
Yeah, Malika, I mean, this was the Chicago Sky's decision to trade Angel Reese, and it's because I'm told they're going to really revamp their team and start this season with a very different looking group than the one that they ended last year with. Sources told me that Angel did not request or demand a trade from the Sky. I just want to make that very clear. This was their choice. However, I'm also told the Sky worked very closely with Angel and her camp to find her a new home, and that home is the Atlanta Dream. Malika, you might remember towards the end of last summer, Reese made some comments that were very critical of the Chicago Sky's front office and kind of floated or opened the idea that at some point in her career, she would maybe have to move on from that franchise. But I'm told that this trade today was not in any reaction towards that. I'm told there is no animosity, any bad blood, any contention between the Sky or Angel Reese. And there's actually a lot of appreciation from Reese and her camp, again, for helping land her in a place that she actually wanted to go to. I'm told that there were some other teams in these conversations with the Sky, but Reese wanted to go to Atlanta, and the Sky helped make that happen.
Well, the double-double queen is on her way to the A, and I got to say,